So tonight, you guys, this is what not to do. I'm showing you what not to do in the webinar. Just thought I'd let you know, this is what not to do. Okay, can I just have like 2 people share what they want to get out of this class? Who would like to share? Sorry.
I will.
Thanks, John.
So what I want to get out of the class tonight is I want a clear understanding of what is expected over the next 6 weeks so that I know what I need to work on and so that I can be successful.
I love it. Thanks, John, for sharing. One more.
I'll go.
Thank you.
I didn't interpret it as tonight. I said out of the whole thing, I would like
Oh, that's okay.
to find 3 CEOs and feel confident inviting others and to change some lives.
Woo! Love it. Thank you. That's awesome. Okay. So the reason why I ask you that is if you don't know what you want, how do you know what you don't want? And then if you don't have a purpose, then why are you even here? So part of being enrolled is being intent and having a purpose in everything that you do. So I just wanted to share with you guys, this I thought was amazing. So over the last 3 days, I've done about 25 strategy sessions. And I wanted to share, because I got to share with you guys too, and I wanted to share with you what I found in those strategy sessions. Because lo and behold, almost everybody said something that I would want to go over, because it really hit me as I was doing these strategy sessions, because I was like, oh my goodness, they are doing the same thing that I was doing. Funny how that energy happens. And so I just wanted to show you with what I found. And this is what I found. I found that 95% of us, if I asked you why you didn't have the results that you wanted, you said something like this: I just gave up, or I was procrastinating. And I loved that, not the answer, but I love this. So procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. So I'm asking you, how much is procrastination costing you? Because for me, my goal is to make $500,000 a month. And each month that I don't get that, that's what it's costing me. How many of you want to make it where there's no more procrastination, but only enrolled in your life 100% of the time? Yeah, me too. Find it interesting. So just by raise of hand, when I asked you guys what was holding you back, how many of you said something similar to procrastination? I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Oh my land. The other thing that I found too was about procrastination was this, because this is me. Leaving things until the last minute is a way of budgeting your time. Most procrastinators are sort of perfectionists. That's me. As long as they have a lot of time to do a task, they fantasize about doing a perfect job. Leaving it till the last minute is a way of giving oneself permission to do a merely adequate job. 99% of the time, a merely adequate job is all that is needed. So I noticed that for me, procrastination, it was because I wanted it to be perfect. So if I couldn't set it up to be perfect, I didn't do it. How many of you are in this boat? Why is it they're all the same? How did we get that?
All a bunch of perfectionists.
Yeah, totally. So does this resonate with you? Did these two resonate with you?
Very much so.
Stinky. Yeah. So who is ready to say, no more will I procrastinate?
No more.
No more. I'm right there with you guys. So this is what I think is interesting. Remember when I asked you guys your numbers? Well, my number was 53. And so then when I noticed my number was 53, I seriously thought, okay, if my number is 53%, and then my results have to show 53%. You guys, am I echoing?
There's some
Yeah.
kind of noise.
And it's,
Am I echoing?
No.
that's okay.
It's all right.
Okay, I'm turning it down, and I'm coming away from the computer a little bit. Sometimes I'll do it. All right, we'll try this again. So I sat there and I thought, if I'm only enrolled at 53% of the time, where am I at the other 47%? And I'm going to be completely real and raw with you. A lot of that was on stinking Facebook. No, I'm serious. It was crazy. 47%. That's almost half my life, half my time. So I want you to think about your number that you gave me. And if you didn't give me a number, think about your number and just ask yourself, what's the percentage I'm enrolled? And whatever number that is, write it down and then ask, what would it look like if I was enrolled 100% of the time? What would I do different than I'm doing right now? Because this is what it looked like for me when I was enrolled 100% of the time. I literally was in achievement energy all day long. How many of you want to be in achievement energy all day long?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is something that I learned. So first of all, what does achievement energy look like? And what I learned was achievement energy is when I decided I was worth the opportunity for someone to give me something so that I could receive. So let me just explain this to you. How many of you are great givers? How many of you are stinky receivers? So this is what I learned. The reason why we're stinky receivers is because in order for us to receive something, we have to put us first.
Ouch.
If we don't put ourselves first and we receive, because we're saying, I deserve something, and we're receiving it, then what happens is when we give and give and give, and then let's say your spouse says something and says, you know, it could be like, you just made a dinner, right? And let's say your mom comes and says, that doesn't taste very good. What is the first thing we do? Do we receive it and say, oh, I'm sorry, here, put some sauce on it? Or do we become critical and judgmental towards the person that said that?
Yeah, we become defensive.
I just get real mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get mad at myself. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? You know?
Yeah. So this is what I found. So I'm going to ask you, there's something that you're putting off about you that you want to do, but you're not doing it because you are saying, I don't have enough time for that. So you're putting everything else above it, except for that one thing that you personally need. So I want you to think about that one thing that you're putting off to give to yourself and for you to receive that. And then I want you to write it down. What is that one thing that you should be giving to yourself but you're not? Kayla, share.
I work too much at my other job.
Nancy, I am so sorry. I did not even get to hear what you said, but it sounded good. Tell me again.
I work too much at my job. I'm running my whole store over there.
Yeah. So what are you not giving to yourself?
Time to myself because I worry too much. I want it to go good so I can move back to Colorado. I can feel good about leaving it in good hands,
Yeah.
That's why.
Wow. So time. I love that. Thanks for sharing, Nancy.
Mhm.
Okay, next.
I'm not giving myself an organized home. I just have areas in my home that are so cluttered and disorganized. I mean, most of it looks good, but then there's corners, with things that I'm like, what is in that corner? I don't even know, and that's not right. I don't like that. That's my job. My profession is to clean and make things good, and I guess I have that laziness or something where I don't want to deal with it. So and then I feel like I know that things are maybe not the way they should be because I might be forgetting something, or missing something.
Wow.
And it's just not, I don't like it. I don't like looking at it, either. My husband
Wow.
probably doesn't either. But he didn't say anything.
Thank you for sharing that, Suzanne. Amy, what about you? What's the one thing you're putting off about you?
I guess self time, confidence, and self time. I tend to put everybody else in my family first. My kids, and then my husband, and I try to take care of everybody else, and so I kind of leave myself short.
John?
So I do not give myself adequate time for music. And it's something that I have missed a lot is I have confined, we'll say minimal time to play the piano, which I enjoy. Obviously not as much as I would like, and nothing for probably the last 3 to 4 years of playing my trumpet.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing, John, because I didn't even know you played the trumpet.
So yeah, it's quite lacking, I believe.
Wow. Stephanie, what about you? What's the one thing that you have been putting off for yourself?
Everything. Actually, what I wrote down was I put life coaching. I have not allowed myself to live the life I want. So that's it.
Wow. I love it. Miriam.
There's a little bit of what everybody of me thinking everything that everybody's saying. I want more time to organize my house. I want more time for music, my own music, and not just, even though I'm doing music all the time, for myself, for my own self-expression. I guess maybe that's it. Just things that I get to do that were my own creative side that I don't really get to do anymore because I'm running around trying to accomplish a bunch of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I think I missed somebody.
It's me.
I did. Brianna.
I just don't take time for myself. I don't take the time I used to exercise and to plan out my healthy meals, and I don't take time to, I guess, spiritually focus on the things that are important to me, like my scripture reading and different things that I know that would help me, but everything else always comes first, and it's a lot easier to just make excuses and say, well, my kids need this first and they're more important, but that's what moms are supposed to do. But in reality, if I were to do that, I'd probably be a better mom.
Interesting, huh? Yeah. Did I get everybody? I just want to make sure I did it.
No.
On my screen, I only have 3, so I can only see 3.
Stephanie, can you hear me?
I can.
I'm like Miriam. I can relate to a lot of what everybody's saying.
that I haven't taken enough time for this and that. And but I also, a problem that I have is allowing other people to sort of hijack my time, because even when I do plan time for myself and I say, I'm going to spend this time to do this for me, it frequently doesn't happen because somebody else wants my time, and so I allow them to have it. And I'm shortchanging myself by doing that.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So before I go on, did everyone get a chance to talk? And Colleen, thank you for sharing that. And thank you, each of you, for sharing that.
Francesca.
So this is what, I'm sorry?
Phone. I think Francesca is on the phone.
Yeah.
Hi, Francesca.
Sorry,
Are you on the phone?
Hey, and we had some technical difficulties. Sorry.
Oh, well, welcome. Our whole evening has been technical difficulties.
I know.
So what's the one thing that you've been putting off for you?
So for me, I put clearing out clutter from our house. I think I'm allowing my belongings to own me, and I think I just need to get rid of stuff and free myself from all of my clutter.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for sharing. So this is what I found with achievement energy. Ruben, did you want to add? Is Ruben there, Francesca?
He's here.
Yeah, I was saying pretty much the same thing as Francesca.
He's
Okay.
feeling the same way as me.
Thank you. So I just wanted to share this with you because this was such a pivotal point in staying in achievement energy for me, because what I noticed is the give and receive cycle. It was very easy for me to give, but I did not want to receive. I didn't want to receive anything negative, and I didn't want to receive anything. I wanted to receive positive, so I looked for only ways that I would receive the positive. But what was happening is I wasn't growing at all, because if there was any negative, I would push it away, that I didn't need that. And so what was happening was, when I felt good at doing something, and so when I asked myself this, literally the thought came to me, dancing. When was the last time you danced? When was the last time you felt that you could do something amazing? And so I was like, oh my gosh. So literally I thought, I wonder if I danced every day for 5 minutes, I could find 5 minutes every day, what would happen? And I'm going to tell you, it was the most interesting thing. So I started dancing every day. I put it on my phone, and it was at first crazy, right? It was just, okay, just get it done. But then all of a sudden I thought, no, if I'm going to be a role 100%, I've got to dance 100%. And it changed. And I'll never forget, because normally when Mike would say something supporting, like if he said, hey, I think there's a better way to do it like this, normally I would say, well, I don't care. I'm not doing it like that, because I was taking it as he was criticizing me. But I noticed that when he said something to me like that, it was the first time where I actually thanked him. I said, thank you. I think you're right. I think I'm going to do that. And then I stopped and I went, wait a minute. How come I could receive that? And the reason why I could receive that is because in the give and take cycle, in order for me to the give and receive cycle, in order for me to receive, I had to receive everything. But I had to start with putting me first and receiving what I needed. And so when we don't, and we push it away, and we just become givers, and then we put ourselves in the victim mode, right? Oh, I can't do anything for me because I have to do everything for my kids. Or I can't do anything for me because I have to do everything for my family. Or I can't do anything for me, or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Who knows what I'm talking about? Huh. Yeah. It is the lie. And it keeps us in procrastination energy instead of achievement energy. And so in order to be enrolled in your life 100%, you have to put you first. And it is so hard because each one of us has been told that's not okay. But if you put yourself first and you receive it, you have so much more to give. And then what happens is the things that you are not doing, whether it's exercising, play, dance, whatever it is, when you do that, you actually heal from the emotions, any negative emotions, so then you're ready to receive more, whether it's positive or negative. Anyone have anything to add to that, or does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just like in the plane, they tell you to put on your own oxygen mask first.
Absolutely.
Delegating.
Absolutely. Yeah. And really allowing yourself to give yourself permission. It's okay. So Stephanie, I'm just letting you know, it's okay. You can put yourself first. The reason why I'm picking on Stephanie is because I know her very well, and she will be the last one she'll never put herself first. But that's not true. It's changing today. But to give yourself permission to put yourself first. Then the other thing that I want to talk about is achievement energy and I was taught this, is to touch the paper once. And what this means is when I was given this, I didn't understand. I'm like, what? Touch the paper once. And then I noticed something with my laundry. And I don't know, how many of you do laundry like this? Put it in the washer, you put it in the dryer, and it sits in the dryer until you put another load in the washer that needs to go in the dryer. Anybody do that? Okay, I'm not alone. I love it. Okay. So now you take the clothes in the dryer, and now sometimes you fold them, sometimes you don't. You put them in the basket, and then you go and you put them in your room, and they sit in the basket. How many of you done that?
Yeah.
So good. I'm so glad I'm not alone on this. And what I noticed was, man, I was touching that basket consistently over and over and over again. And I thought, touch the paper once. I wonder what would happen if I only touched the basket once. And guess what started to happen? So I would take the clothes in the washer, put them in the dryer. I would take the clothes out of the dryer. I would fold them. I would put them away. And all of a sudden, when I started feeling like you should talk to that person, guess what I did? I automatically would go and do it. I stopped that pattern. How many of you have a to-do list that gets transferred onto the next day every day?
I do.
Yeah. Touch the paper once. Touch it once. That's achievement energy. Any questions on achievement energy? Because when you're in achievement energy, you are enrolled 100%. Okay. So it is so important to be enrolled in yourself that you have to get crystal clear on what you want. If you do not know what you want, you'll never get it. So I would highly suggest that you write something like, this, in the next 6 weeks, this is what I want. And this is how I'm going to get it. And then I'd also ask why you haven't got it yet. And then write down what's keeping you from that. So when you get crystal clear about what you want, then it's important to get crystal clear about the characteristics you want in your CEO. Because when you get crystal clear about the characteristics that you want in your CEOs, you can go back there and then you ask yourself, who do I have to become to match that energy in the CEOs? And trust me, there's going to be some characteristics that you go, I'm not there yet. And then if you use your vision board to help you become that person, it's amazing what will happen. And so in the morning class, I was asked if I would do a small class at like a 3-minute on vision board. So they're like, can you show us how you do your vision board? So I will post that tomorrow morning. It will be a 3-minute talk on my vision board on how I took the characteristics of the CEOs and then asked myself, who do I have to become? And then put it up on my vision board to become that person. Any questions?
That's awesome.
Anybody want to know about how to do their vision board like that?
Yes.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yes.
Really cool.
I have an old
I'll be
one.
honest with you. I never liked my vision board until now. And now I love it. Colleen, did you have your hand up? Or were you just...
No, I'm in. Yes, I do. I want it.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I just saw you waving, so I was thinking, uh-oh, did you have a question? Okay. So it's also important to ask what you want. Who do you have to become to live your ideal lifestyle? Because when you know who you have to become to be enrolled 100%, well, let me ask you this. Does anybody's ideal lifestyle, do any of you guys say, hey, I just want to be enrolled in 53%? Yeah, I didn't think so. Do any of you ask, or how many of you want to be enrolled in their ideal lifestyle at 100%?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ask yourself, who do you have to become to live your ideal lifestyle? And then become that person. And I'll show you how you can use your vision board to do that. Okay, so this is just for John Barry. The rest of you guys can chime in and listen. I'm just kidding. Class details. I know John loves them. So what's going to happen is the next 6 weeks, you are going to have what's called the enrollment process. This is going to give you the confidence that you are missing right now, so that when anyone walks into your space, you know that you're enrolled, and then you know you can enroll them. Right now, the only thing standing between you and your results of your goals that you want is experience. You're just missing the experience. So we're going to give you the opportunity to gain the experience at a short amount of time. Are you ready?
Yes.
Who wants to get a lot of experience in a short amount of time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to play 100% and be enrolled?
I do.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because guess what? You're getting out of your comfort zone really quickly. So your strategy sessions look like this. So you're going to have, I'm going to put you in groups of 3 to 4. So my strategy sessions, I'll be done with my strategy sessions on Saturday. And we'll have around 25 people in this class. And we'll put you in groups of 3 to 4 people. And what is going to happen is, for the first week, you are going to get together with those 3 to 4 people, and you get to choose the time, the date, how you want to do it. And during that time, you will practice enrolling a person from that group into their own life. And then the other 3, well, the other 4 actually, or however many are in your group, they will give you support and feedback. So they might ask you, how did you feel when I was trying to enroll you in your life? And you need to be real. So when you are role playing, please do not turn out of your character, your true self. Like, don't say, oh, I'm going to pretend to be this person. Because at this point in time, we want you to be you, so that you know how it feels if someone is trying to enroll you and it's not going very well. Have you ever, when someone's trying to enroll you in something, have you ever felt like they're trying to sell something to me? Have you ever felt like someone was trying to sell you something?
Yeah.
It kind of felt shady. You know, how you're like, ooh. That's what this experience, that's what we want you to go through, not necessarily shady, but to go through the experience so you know what to say, the questions to ask, so that they know you're authentic and real, and you know how to take them so that you can enroll them in your life. So it's all about practice, and remember, practice makes progress. It doesn't make perfect, because sometimes we can practice wrong. So the more you practice wrong does not mean it's perfect, unless it's perfectly wrong. So practice makes progress. So we want to give you as much practice as possible. If you want to speed up the process, I would highly suggest that you do this daily. Now, some of you might think, how do you do it daily? If you enroll yourself daily, and then you enroll your husband, your children, students that come into class. Hey, Steph, can I use you for a minute?
Yes, you can. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I know you're
I have it
muted.
on mute because my dogs
Okay.
are going crazy.
No, you're fine. I'm going to use Stephanie for just a minute. I'm going to use you, Steph. I want you to be one of your students. So Stephanie teaches at the university. But Steph, I want you to be one of your students. You could practice like this. How many of you want to impact children's lives?
Me.
Yeah. How many of you want to become the best teacher so that any student that comes into your life, you will make an influence. You will influence them to become a better person. Right? So do you notice, Steph? Even it's practice. You could practice on your students every day. Every day. So does anyone have any questions on that? On how to enroll someone in their life?
So Stephanie, once you ask the questions and they raise their hand, what's the next step? So yes, they want those things, but are they enrolled at that point? Is that what you mean by enrolled?
No. Great question, Miriam. It just means that you can practice, right? You can practice the questions, but in order to enroll, you have to close them. And so the reason why we're terrible at closing, well, let me put it this way. Who is terrible at closing?
Me.
Yeah, guess why we're terrible at closing? Because closing, you have to receive something. How many of you are good receivers?
Not this guy.
Now you know why we're not very good at closing. So if you want to be a good closer, you have to first receive you. So in order for me to be a closer every single time, where I even think about it consciously, I have to dance. Because that's one thing I'm not giving to me. So in order to become a better closer, you have to be a better receiver. So Miriam, I'm going to answer your question. So twofold, right? So first, become a better receiver. Because I promise you, if you don't, you will never think about closing. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because I am great at enrolling people, and I am terrible at closing. Because I am terrible at receiving. I did not feel that I was good enough to receive, or that I was worthy enough to receive. So until I could say I am good enough and I am worthy enough to receive, it never even crossed my mind to close somebody. Ever. And there would be times where I would get in the car and Mike would look at me and say, how come you didn't close on that? It was like perfect. Why didn't you close? But because I was a stinky receiver, I heard judgment. And so I shoved it, pushed it away. So don't let it take you 47 years to be a good receiver and a better closer. So number one, become a good receiver. Number two, this is how you practice. So if Stephanie, I'm going to use her example again. So if she's at school and she says, how many of you want to be a teacher that influences thousands of young lives? And they raise their hands. Then this is how you close them. How many of you are willing to invest in your education so that you can be a great teacher? So raise your hand. Then you ask them to take an action. Because as soon as they take an action, they're receiving and they're going to give something back to you. So they're receiving and so are you. So any type of action. So it could be that maybe Stephanie said that I'm going to ask you for the next week that you read this book for 15 minutes. How many of you are willing to read that book for 15 minutes? Then I'm going to ask you to go right now. So you want him to do something. I'm going to ask you right now to stand up, to go get the book, sit down, and write that you are going to, your plan of action of what you're going to do to make that 15 minutes happen. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, Miriam, tell me what you heard. How can you become a better closer?
By getting them to commit to taking the next step.
That's wonderful. How else can you be a better closer?
To feel like I am worthy, that I can receive that, and that I deserve that.
So what are you going to do for you to receive something?
That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, I'm already in my brain just totally focused on how to tailor even better what I did today with my students, because you asked me to practice with my students today. So I did ask them enrollment questions, but I didn't have that next piece of taking an action. Although we had talked about what actions and we kind of practiced it in class. So I think it was sort of there. So I don't know, like I'm not even, I don't even know how to focus on myself.
So remember you talked about music?
Oh, that's right.
Could you give yourself 15 minutes, 5 minutes a day just to practice on you, to get creative?
Yeah.
I promise you, if you do that, this is what's crazy. If you do that, you don't have to practice on closing. That's what's crazy. The reason why I had to practice on closing is because I was such a stinky receiver. So even though I was dancing, the dancing was only 5 minutes, but that's all I felt worthy to receive. So as I started to increase my time in doing the things that I wanted to do, then I became a better closer. Any questions on that? Does that make sense to anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
John, you look perplexed, so talk to me.
So my confusion lies in what are the questions? Do they revolve around who, what, when, where, and why? Or are they situational? Or like, I guess that's my biggest confusion right now in the enrollment is, where do those questions come from?
So that's a great question. So if you want, John, I can post on our Facebook page different questions that you can look over. But really, the questions are really situational. But it's really when you're present with that person and you're listening, you will know the questions to ask. So for example, like what you just asked me, right? If I wanted to, I could turn around and say, John, what would it mean to you to know the answer, to find the question?
It would mean quite a lot.
Are you willing? So what would it change?
Yeah.
What would it change? It would change my perspective, and it would change my my relationships.
Ooh. How so?
It would change my relationships for the better, because I would feel that I was more connected to the person I'm trying to build a relationship with, and I would feel more in tune with them.
So I'm just going to throw this out for you then, because you went there. So maybe as you enroll in yourself, it'll be the same questions for them.
It probably will be.
Maybe, I'm just saying.
We'll call that a good baseline. Let's start with that.
it's going to be interesting because I could already see your wheels turning. So we're going to be talking about this a lot more. Thank you for bringing that up. So the questions are great. I'll post them on there, but I promise you, you'll read them and then you'll never use them. But it's a good baseline. But if you take about the same questions to enroll you, and you'll notice that someone enrolled you first, right? Someone enrolled you to be here on this earth. So the enrollment process, we already know. We've just forgotten. And so maybe we're here to be re-enrolled. I don't know. Any other questions on strategy questions? Oh, was someone talking and I talked over them? I'm so sorry.
You're just going to email out our groups? Is that what's happening?
Miriam, I'm so sorry. I did not get to understand you.
Sorry, I was asking, are you just going to send us an email with our groups?
Yes. So, Miriam, thank you for reminding me that I didn't finish with that. Yeah, so Saturday I finished our strategy session, and so then I will email you out no later than Sunday evening your group, and then you can just get with them and decide times and days. Okay. Now that being said, remember, the more experience you have, the more enrolled you'll become. So really look for those experiences, because that's really what's keeping from you getting the results that you want at a quicker level, are those experiences. So really look for them. And like if you're in, for example, John, I hope you don't mind me to use you. John, and Colleen, you guys are to present yourself. You guys are with, close to 1,000 people. You totally have the opportunity to practice this, especially when you're presenting yourself. When you're doing a presentation, absolutely, you can enroll. Just don't forget to close.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so along with that, we also have accountability calls. And let me just share with you what our accountability calls are going to look like. Sometimes when you're in accountability calls, I don't know about you, have you ever been in an accountability call and it was just kind of lame?
Yeah.
No? Good. Okay, because I've been in one. And I noticed that sometimes it didn't do anything for me. But what I noticed was when it didn't do anything for me, it was because I was never enrolled in that accountability call. So I want you to be enrolled in the accountability call, because this is what it's going to look like. How many of you want to be stretched so that you can reach your end, so that you can see the results that you want at the end of these 6 days? How many of you want to be stretched? How many of you want to be held to a higher level of accountability so that you say, if I say that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it? How many of you want someone to call you on the carpet when you started seeing a trigger and you start going into procrastination mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And how many of you want to grow?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, in order to have those, this is what the accountability call is about. And so I'm going to ask you to enroll and to take action. So what will happen is you will be with a maximum of 5 people. It will not be 5 people, I promise you. And it will not be longer than 10 minutes. It will look something like this. Good morning, John. How are you doing? I'm going to do it with the client. Sorry. Good morning, client. This is Stephanie McGuire, and I just want to let you know I totally aced my action steps. Today, my action steps are I'm going to practice strategy calls, and instead of doing 5, I'm doing 7, so I'm going to totally stretch myself. And then after I'm done, I'm going to say, for my declaration, I master the art of communication, and I master the enrollment process. Woo! And then the next person goes. Now, if I have been saying the same thing over, with no results, then someone on that call needs to call me on the carpet and say, hey, you know what, Stephanie, you said that for the last 2 days, and you have not done it. Are you enrolled? And if I say no, then it's important that you guys say, what will it take for you to enroll? So the accountability calls are very, very important as long as we're doing them right. So the accountability calls, again, it's to stretch yourself. And I'm going to tell you something. I have an accountability call at 5:30 every morning, and this is what it sounds like. I'll say something like this. Today, my action step is I'm going to speak to 7 people. And my accountability call at 5:30 is with 3 people. And someone will say, 7 people. How come not 9? Okay, 9 it is. The next day, when I say, hey, I aced it, I got my 9, so today my strategy session will be 12, they'll go 12. I'm not 15. You notice what they're always doing? They're always stretching me. Always. So I'm going to ask you to do the same thing on your accountability calls. Stretch them. Now, they have a choice, right? They can say, no, 5's good. But see what will happen if they can stretch. There's something really amazing that happens. Because not only do you find that you're in achievement energy, but you find you just put your whole group in achievement energy. I don't know about you, who wants their whole team in achievement energy? Yeah. Okay, so, oops, I'm going the wrong way. I'm so sorry. Remember I told you that this is for what not to do? Yeah. So we have our Facebook page. I believe everyone is on it. It's the doTERRA team of Epic. Is there anybody that's not on it?
I've never even heard of it.
I'm not on it either.
I don't think I'm on it.
Okay, so Francesca and Marianne. Okay, I'll put you on.
Colleen. I'm not on it either.
Who?
Colleen.
Oh, hi, Colleen. Sorry. Gotcha. Okay, I'll put you on there.
On that one. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, Mom, you're on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, Nancy, I know you're on there. Thank you, Amy. So that's where everything will be posted. And I'm not going to ask you to post on Facebook because, and the only reason why I say that is you're going to have to use your own discretion. I know for me that Facebook is a trigger, so I'm very careful what I post, and I'm very careful of how much time I spend on it. Because it's easy for me to go into procrastination mode, and I won't do it. So I do not post very much. I will only post where I have to, and then I get off of it. Oh, this is so cool, but this is on the Facebook page, and because I'm on my phone, it will not work for me to watch this. But this is a movie, and it's on our Facebook page, and it's the Giants fighting the Giants, and it's about a football team. And the gentleman, he says, Coach, you know, I don't know why we're even practicing. We're going to get slaughtered. And then the coach asks him to do something. And this gentleman does it. And I wanted you to watch it. So I would highly suggest that you get on our Facebook page and you watch this. Because it is so inspirational. Because for the next six weeks, that's what we're going to ask you to do. We're going to ask you to be pushed to your very limit. But really, we're going to ask you to be enrolled 100%. We're going to ask you to see what it looks like and then to do it. How many of you want to be enrolled 100%? And I'm going to ask you to take action today, and whatever it is that you're not enrolled in, to make a plan to get enrolled. So if it is that you need your house to be organized, if it means that you need to exercise, whatever it is, make a plan. Because if you do not know what you want, and you do not know the action steps to take, you will experience procrastination again and again and again. If you want to experience achievement energy, then you set an action step and you make sure it gets done. You hold yourself accountable at a higher level and you do it. How many of you want to be and stay in achievement energy?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then take action today, write out your action steps, and then do it. And I would love, love, love to see some of those action steps. So sometimes I'll take out my phone and I'll put it on while I'm dancing so you can see what I do. I would love to see Miriam, if you're going to do some creation of music, I would love to see that. And I would love to see Suzanne when you do a before and after picture of some tile that it got done. So whatever it is,
I will.
put it on there.
Okay, well, tonight it was my night to do the On Guard Concentrate Cleaner video demonstration or whatever that we were doing for a while. And I made my video tonight, so I posted it on Facebook. I don't know if it went, but I'll post it again if it didn't go through. So I'm proud that I did that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great achievement energy.
Yeah.
So start small, because once you get the little things done, I promise you, as you start asking yourself, what else do I need to do for achievement energy? All of a sudden, it'll be something bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's awesome because it's like, really? You mean I have the confidence in myself to get that done? Woo-hoo! No longer, oh yeah, I'm going to keep that on my to-do list for a long time. Now it's like, yeah, I'm right there, I'm moving it.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. So I'd highly recommend you watch this. It's a 5-minute short video. You will love it. It's just amazing. It's very inspirational. And then the last thing is, during these classes, when you're taking notes and throughout the week, make sure you're asking questions, because I would love to give you what you want. I would love to make it where you can receive. So ask questions, and I will make sure that you receive the answer. So make sure that you're asking. And as you know, when we're stinky receivers, guess what we don't do? We don't ask. So become an incredible receiver and start to ask. Hi, Marie.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Great to
Okay.
see you. So remember, ask yourself, who do you have to become in order for you to live your ideal lifestyle? And then ask yourself, am I enrolled 100%? And if not, how do I get there? And then do it. Take the action steps to do it. Because once you're enrolled, then you can enroll others. All right. Are there any questions with anything that you guys have? Marie, since you just got on, I will send you the recording.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure it out at the beginning, but I got on.
No, it's perfect. You're fine. So Marie is from Las Vegas. So everyone say hi, Marie. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Marie.
Hi.
She's like the coolest thing there is in the world, and we love her to death. So Marie is also a professor at a university, and she's amazing. She's just an amazing lady. And she's the epitome of a lady. It's ridiculous. Okay, so does anyone have any questions before we get done?
I have one clarification question.
Yes, John.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is kind of how I'm understanding it. So the enrollment is, so what it looks like when you're enrolled is all of your action steps being put into play. Is that correct?
So yes, but there's more. That's a great start. Start there first, and then you'll have another question.
Okay.
So and you're absolutely right, John. Yes. I'm gonna leave it like that. because there's a lot more to it. But it's such a fun journey. I'm going to let you get on that journey a little bit more, and then you're going to ask me a question, and then you and I are going to go, oh yeah, let's talk.
Okay.
You'll get this. You'll totally, I know you well enough to know, oh my gosh, you're going to run with this. Yeah. Yeah. And so this part right here is just teaching you to enroll others in their life, right? In next week, we'll start teaching you to enroll others in doTERRA, how to show them the opportunity. So we want you to get really comfortable enrolling yourself and then enrolling others.
Okay.
Because I'll be honest with you, there's no difference.
Were you all on a whole hour before I joined you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I missed all of you.
No, you're fine. I'm going to send the recording, so you're fine. We
Can
love
you see?
Don't
Can you
worry
guys
about
see
it.
me?
Yeah.
We can.
Can you see
You
my
have
red glasses?
on.
Yeah.
You do. You have red glasses on. They're great.
I am so excited that I finally found you, but you know.
And I'm so excited that you're not lost anymore.
Yeah, I was lost and now I'm found. Yeah. It's nice to meet all of you. I hope to see you in person someday, but yeah, I'm excited about this journey. Are you all excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really excited.
She's the neatest lady there is. So you just know that when you get to meet Marie, you are in great hands. Are there any other questions?
I was wondering, so the emails that we get from you about our teams we'll start calling out the teams on Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah. So
And,
probably, I would love to tell you Saturday, but my last strategy session is at 9 p.m.
Okay.
Because there are some other people in Hawaii.
Hello.
Okay.
So it's 6 o'clock there. Yeah. So that's the only time they could do it. So I'll be honest with you, those that know me, Stephanie's looking at me like, yeah, right. She doesn't stay after 8:30. So those that know me know I go to bed really early. So I'll be honest with you, Suzanne, probably after that strategy session, I'll go to bed. But I'll get up early on Sunday and have this. That seems more feasible.
Okay, but will we have church, and then, are we going to use Zoom to talk to our teammates?
So you can. That's a great question. You can use Zoom. It's up to your team members. So you can use Zoom or you can call. Let me just give you a tidbit. When you're using Zoom, you add another element that the telephone you don't, and that's the body language. So if I were you, I would look for ways to use the body language. So I would definitely use Zoom, but it's up to your group. So that being said, I'll post my Zoom number, so you can use my Zoom. And
really?
Then, get on there. Absolutely. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I love Zoom. I think it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie.
I do too, especially if it works.
If I miss one of these due to my work schedule, we're in whale season and it's really intense right now. But I love this and I am sharing it with people all the time. Is there any way I can watch the recordings?
Yep. So what's going to happen is, so we recorded this morning and we recorded this evening, and then this recording will be done after we're done in about 40 minutes, and then I'll edit, and then I'll upload it. And then each of you will receive an email with a YouTube channel, and then you can go and rewatch it. So if Thursday doesn't match, your schedule, you always will have the opportunity to watch it later.
That's very awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
so in a little bit, I'll send it to Marie so that she can watch it.
Okay. Well, since we got a new manager, I have a new general manager since I came back from Colorado. She also uses an essential oil. It's Young Living. So we talk about our oils all the time.
Nice.
it's kind of neat, you know, but she is very encouraging, and I feel so much better, and she's brought out the best in me, and I think that it's helped. I have a very young team at work. Like, our team got decimated at my job, and so I have trained everybody there now, and it's a lot of work to do, but I'm running the retail store.
Oh, wow.
It's a big job.
Yeah.
And
I
we
can only
really,
imagine.
I should send you the picture of, we made a story window, a picture window in the front of our store. It's really cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I want to be respectful of your time, and I apologize going over. I went over because, of course, I had technical difficulties. So I apologize. So I'll make sure that next week I don't get kicked off. So again, I apologize for getting kicked off, and I apologize for not being able to hear anybody through my phone. But so thank you for your patience, and just know we love you guys, and we so want you guys to succeed. We're so excited for these next 6 weeks to see what's going to happen, and we're really excited to see you all enrolled, because there's a lot of great things that happen when you're enrolled. All right, so that being said, I'm going to be quiet, and have a great evening, and we will talk next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.